Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to this 100% walkthrough of GTA San Andreas. Today we are going to be collecting up the remaining 25 oysters that we need to get. They are in a mixture of Los Santos and some of the Badlands areas of the map, and we're kicking it off with the first one right over here at the end of this pier here. Just on the very southeastern corner of Los Santos, really near the beach. And you'll find this one just at the end of this pier. If you dive down underwater, you should be able to pick it up literally right at the end. And that's Oyster 26 out of 50. Okay guys, our second oyster of the video. We've come all the way down to the ocean docks area of the city down here. And if you come to this south part of the docks, you can find the oyster just hovering around under the surface of the water, right up against this wall. So dive down, and we've got Oyster 27 of 50. Okay, so our third oyster of the video is still in the ocean docks area. We've just headed a little bit east to this area on the map, directly underneath this part of the road, which is a bridge. I can't quite angle the camera, but there we go. You'll find the oyster just under the surface again. And that is Oyster 28 out of 50. Okay guys, Oyster 4 you can find still in the ocean docks area. But this time we've gone, again, further west, I was going to say south, west to this part of the map here, where, again, a bridge goes across the top of the water. And again, directly underneath the bridge is the oyster floating down here. And I'm going to try not to get hit by these boats as well. But there's oyster number 29 out of 50. Can you not crash into my sea sparrow, please? Okay guys, oyster number 5. We have come all the way down to this southwest area of Los Santos International Airport. And if you land around about here, where you can see these sort of sandy rocky banks, you should be able to see the oyster just under the surface. Now you don't actually need to dive down to get this one, you can just pick it up like that. And that's oyster 30 out of 50. Okay, so for oyster number 6, you want to come to the Verdant Bluffs area of Los Santos. We've just followed the coast round this way and come to this location where you get this little bit of a tunnel where the road turns grey, just where it joins with the black bit of the road here. Next to this orangey red wall, you should be able to find the oyster just down here. The water's not too deep, so just swim down and get oyster 31 of 50. So we've continued our journey west along the coast to the Verona beach area now. So we're right here on the map where I guess the canal goes inwards from the sea. And when you get to this part with the tunnel, which you can ride boats through, if you just dive down, you should find the oyster just near the entrance to the little tunnel. So that's oyster 32 out of 50. So we've headed on north up the canal to the marina area of the map. I'll show you it right here. Now you want to come to this second black line that goes across this little canal, and underneath the bridge, or through the tunnel I guess, is another oyster hidden away near these little grassy banks, and that's oyster 33 out of 50. Okay guys, so we've continued on west now to the Santa Maria Beach area of the map, specifically the very left hand corner of it where we have the lighthouse, so right here on your map. And if you come to the south side of the lighthouse and swim down, this one's a little bit deeper, you'll find the oyster right down on the sand, and that's oyster 34 of 50. Okay guys, so we've moved on now to Flint County, specifically the area of Flint County right here on your map, just up the road from the Flint intersection. And if you come to this area here between these two parts of the highway here, you can dive down between the bridges and you'll find the oyster waiting for you down here, and that's oyster 35 out of 50. So heading on north from the last oyster, we can come to this area here where the railway bridge crosses over this part of the river. It's just on the border between Los Santos, Richmond and Flint County, and if you dive down underneath the railway bridge, you can find the oyster in the water, and that's oyster 36 out of 50. Alright guys, so following that particular body of water round to the left, we've now ended up at this location. We were here, we're now under this part of the road here in Flint County, and underneath this bridge, as seems to be the case with lots of bridges on this game, you can dive down and find another oyster waiting for us, and that's oyster 37 out of 50. So we've now made our way round to the Red County area of the map. Right here in Red County, just south of this part of Red County here, is another road which goes over a little canal. And once again, there is waiting for us under the bridge another oyster. This is 38 out of 50. Alright guys, so we are now on the sort of northwestern corner of Red County right here on the map. What you want to look out for are these little fences that run along the beach here, and when you find them, just go down into the water and you should find the oyster, if I can swim and get it, just off sort of the ridge there, and that is oyster 39 out of 50. Okay guys, so we're still in Red County, but we've gone back towards the oyster we got before the last one. So we're over on this location of the map now, where there's two bridges that go across the water. This one's the main car one, but this one's a little wooden one. And we're directly underneath the little wooden bridge. And if we swim down, we can collect oyster number 40 out of 50. Okay guys, so we've gone due east quite away from the last oyster. We're in the Fisher's Lagoon area of the map now, which is right here. And there's a little pier which juts out from the beach here. And if you dive down at the very end of that pier, I mean it's pretty shallow, you will find oyster number 41 of 50. So we've gone north from the last oyster back into Red County. And we're under another bridge, this bridge in particular here, where the road goes across the top of the river, and underneath the water, pretty shallow again this one, you can find oyster number 42 of 50. And a whole lot of jellyfish as well. So we've gone northeast from the last oyster to San Andreas Sound, where we've got the railway bridge, which runs from the Red County area down here up into Rockstar East and Las Venturas. Now, if you stop about halfway down this railway bridge which goes across the river and dive down right by the support beam, you will find the oyster waiting for you, and that's oyster 43 out of 50. Alright guys, we've gone south, a long way south, to the Glen Park area of Los Santos in this one. Now, I left this one a little bit later because I was worried about being shot by enemy gang members, and that has happened a little bit. But it's right here on your map, and if you dive down in the middle of this pond, you'll be able to find oyster 44 of 50 there. Just be a little bit careful coming here and leaving the area because these guys will shoot you. Luckily we managed to take them out though. So we are now in Mulholland, specifically our newest safe house, which is also Mad Dog's mansion, right here on the map. And in the swimming pool, just out the front of the house, you will find oyster number 45 out of 50. So we are back in Flint County once again. I'll show you where we are on the map so you can get your bearings. We are right here where this little bit of land sticks out, the little green bit. And if you dive down right next to this little bit that juts out, you will see the oyster there. It's a little bit difficult to see it, I find, but it is there. And that's oyster 46 out of 50. Alright, so we are now down all the way on the southern part of Flint County, right here on your map, where the highway crosses over the entrance to the sea, I guess. And directly underneath the highway, once again, is an oyster waiting for us. I mean, it seems to be the favoured place to put these, doesn't it? Which I guess is useful if you don't have a guide, because you can just look under each of the bridges, but a little bit unoriginal. Anyway, oyster 47 out of 50 collected. Okay, so we've gone north from the last oyster up the river, and there is a little wooden footbridge which goes across the river just here. And also the water here isn't really deep enough to swim in, but you can just about get under the surface there to pick up oyster 48 out of 50 directly underneath that wooden bridge. Alright guys, so we're in Whetstone now, specifically under another bridge, just here, not far from Mount Chiliad. There's a bridge which goes over the water here, and if you dive down to the left of the little dividing support beam in the middle, you will find the oyster just here, shallow water, oyster 49 out of 50, just one more to go. Okay guys, our final oyster is in the Mount Chiliad area of the map, specifically all the way over to the left hand side of the map here, underneath the main road which goes across the water here. If you dive down under, yes, yet another bridge, you will find the oyster here. That's oyster 50 out of 50. We get a load of money for doing it. And that is our final set of collectibles on this playthrough or walkthrough found, which is brilliant. We also get some other rewards and things, I believe. I'm not sure if it tells you what they are, but it's something to do with the dating mechanic on the game. I believe you get max sex appeal, which I've never really completely understood, but I believe it's because people say oysters are an aphrodisiac, so there's that if you're interested in the dating mechanics on this game. But if not, you get the satisfaction of saying that you got all of the oysters and it contributes to the 100% complete stat. So, having said that, let's take a look at our stat screen, shall we? We are now up to 95.72% complete. Under 5% to go until we complete the game. And that is going to do it for this episode, guys. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons, Arcades Games and Wayne, for all the support. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if this video has been helpful. It helps YouTube recommend this to more people, which helps my channel to grow. And I'll see you all next time.